play it by ear.
Well, play it by ear. All right, so we can either play with just the two of you on our current game, or we can do something else D&D related. I'm okay with whatever.
I
Any preference from either one of you?
Well, for what it's worth, Grunt was intending to have a conversation with Corin.
Well, then let's do that. You
I
also have a
remember.
fight with a certain prince that you can take care of while.
Wait. You wanted
Um,
to have a conversation with me?
Yeah,
Am I even there?
for the purposes of
I
this, we'll
mean,
say it happens on one of the days you guys are both there.
Okay, I was gonna say I thought I went off into the woods.
oh, did you?
Yeah, but
Well, no, 'cause
he
you didn't
wasn't
come
here the
back,
last
did you?
2 weeks, remember? So
Oh no,
this would have been
like
like in one of the mornings or something.
one of the last 2 weeks. I thought I went off into the woods to go search for that corruption.
Right, but then you came back and you told us about the corruption too.
No, after that.
He was
After
yeah.
the-
You
after
had
the whole
2 days
bar
that you
thing.
were in town though before you went back out there. So
Okay.
Oh. Well, I mean, effectively, it's not like overly complicated or nothing, but obviously, our previous conversation was rather abrupt, and if we're going to work together in any fashion, then we're going to need to come up with some sort of common ground in order to bridge this ideological difference that we had. So, that being said, then a little understanding on my part could go a long way. Now, to my understanding, you effectively have the the regard for plants that I do for, say, the life of someone that I love. In that it's basically the same.
Kind of, yes.
Right. Now, I find it. I guess to a certain extent, I kind of just don't understand then along the lines of, so then what is the ideal scenario for the world if you hold plants in that regard? Because if to chop down a single tree is to take a life, which, I mean, we can argue the morality because I've taken many lives and I've had lives lost that I cared for, but if the idea is that it should not happen, then what happens to the rest of the world as a result of choosing to not take the life of a plant? Because that's pretty central to the survival of almost everything else.
Well, the survival of everything else isn't my top priority.
So, in an ideal scenario for you, the world would exist of nothing but plants.
by the way, I'm assuming that Ambrosia's with you because she hasn't really left you most of the time. She's gonna touch her ear and go, "Doesn't he just eat vegetables?"
I smile. But yeah, so then yeah, that's my next question. So in an ideal world, there would be nothing but plants. Like that's your ideal scenario for the world.
I just want nature to flourish.
At the expense of everything else, or in harmony with everything else.
I don't think there's a way to make it happen with harmony.
Interesting. Um, where do you fit in on that scope or that landscape?
What do you mean?
And I ask that because you nourish your physical body on plants. So then if plants are to flourish, then you would have to cease to exist as well, right?
Yes. Except I have been training my body to exist without nourishment. I wish I could expand on that more in character,
Well,
out of character, there's a way to explain it.
well, I mean, even in character, it's not completely and entirely unheard of. You know, like that's. I'm not sure how I would respond exactly in character, but like the idea of magics preventing your need for nourishment is not unheard of, or even being able to become powerful enough to simply no longer need it.
Yeah, exactly. That kind of thing.
Ooh, that's probably why I'm breaking up a bit. Nice
Internet
rumbles outside.
Ooh, got a thunderstorm brewing.
Yeah, this time it's not inside me. I had Mexican the other day and it totally caused a thunderstorm inside me.
I'm glad you had to explain that.
You're welcome.
I'm glad you felt the need.
I mean, that makes me wonder. I ate taco salad last night.
Wow, it sounds like you're gonna get the rumblies tonight.
Oh, that's terrible. I gotta work later.
It just depends. I ate like 3 whole peppers, roasted peppers.
What kind of peppers? There are many kinds of peppers.
Oh,
The lovely
I
kinds.
would guess that they were either large jalapenos or small poblanos, from the look of them.
The kind that gives you the rumblies.
I mean,
kind that gives you the
technically,
rumblies.
Anaheim
The doubly.
peppers are larger than jalapenos, but they're not as spicy.
And they're lighter green. This is a darker green.
Oh, okay, okay.
I know my
Everybody.
peppers.
For what it's worth, if you're gonna make chili and you want some spice into it, like 2 jalapenos for a crock pot of chili, cut it in half, remove the seeds, and then let them simmer inside the chili for like 8 hours. Fantastic. You don't even have to like dice it all up and everything. It cooks into it, and it's beautiful.
Sounds it.
But then again, I don't think I like spicy food nearly as much as you do. So then, in your case, it would just be dice up like 4 of them to throw in there. But for
Life has become different. I might still really, 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 really prefer it.
yeah, my guts don't like spicy food the way that I do. So I've come to accept and adapt to that as much as possible.
Your
Yeah.
guts don't like spicy food, but you like spicy food.
Yeah, I mean, I love
Yes.
spicy food as long as it's not like an over the top vinegar spicy. Like I don't like buffalo sauce like for buffalo wings because it's over the top vinegar and I don't like that. So like most hot sauces are out, but as far as like putting peppers into food and shit, oh yeah, that's the downside is like a day or 2 later, then it's just not worth it.
Then you get the rumblies.
It's just not worth it then. Oh god.
All right, well, you guys can continue your conversation. I didn't mean to interrupt that part.
Well, you got me thinking about fire ass.
You know, there is that.
So it's interesting. I think that you almost entirely specified that your intention is to become powerful enough to not need to nourish yourself in any fashion. For the sake of us being able to work together in an attempt to achieve a particular goal, what if I said that if you helped me do what I wanted to do, which I grant you, based on the ideals of your morality and your beliefs, sacrifice will inevitably have to be made. However, it would put you in a position to potentially get exactly what you want because you would have the ability to do it. And by that, I am referring to you would have possibly the ability to guarantee that plant life would flourish unhindered on this world.
How do you expect to make that work?
Because there is something.
I thought I'd ask.
Oh, it's the MacGuffin.
The MacGuffin?
Yep, it's the MacGuffin. It's the Almighty. Now there is something that I'm after, and my aim is to acquire said artifact. But when the time comes, for all intents and purposes, it could very well come down to which of us will acquire said artifact.
Yeah.
At which point, you can get what you want, or I can get what I want.
What does this artifact do? John?
Make you a god?
Ah. What do you need my help with?
Setting things up in a particular way to allow us access, because that we don't have.
Where's the artifact at? I'm guessing I don't know any of this, right? My character hasn't looked for
Probably
the
not.
artifact or anything.
Well,
Not
probably
if
not. The deity you've had interactions with doesn't actually care about it at all, so no, you probably don't know much about it at all.
Okay.
It's on the God's Isle.
Never heard of it. Not the God's Isle, but the artifact. You know what I mean.
Technically, I don't know what it's called exactly, but there is a structure on the God's Isle with which nobody has access to.
The God's Pernus.
It's God's Permis.
Yeah. It's a big phallic shaped place, right?
I think so. I've never heard it referred to as a Pernis.
Well, now you have.
We also know why the fucking land split too. Somebody was going to town on that Pernis a little bit too hard, and they fucking broke it.
Yeah.
So glad that just happened.
It also makes sense now too, because the Pernis is on a cliffside and it's like 500 feet down. It's a chair. That way they don't have to lay their legs straight out when they sit on it.
I think I just solved all of John's problems in one word.
You have cracked the code, sir. I did not even realize. Good
You're
Lord.
gonna get back there and the place is just
What?
gonna be wide open. You can go in at any time. It's just you had to know it was a penis inside your brain at the whole time. But now you gotta live with the thought of you just entered the world's penis.
Well, no, see, it could be even worse than that. Maybe the way that you access it is you don't enter it. It enters you.
That thing's so huge.
Oh, that's funny. See, only a god can survive it. Good Lord, Matt. What were you thinking about when you designed the entirety of this continent?
Well,
did-
there's things on my mind,
Don't worry, we cracked that code.
Apparently. Goodness
and
sakes.
it's gonna crack you.
Oh fuck. No. No.
I'm not that adventurous.
You might be.
Continue your conversation for now.
So, does that intrigue you?
Yeah. I'm intrigued. We'll
Now,
have
as
to
I
go.
said, obviously, the reason I bring it up is because the things that I want to do are going to take time. and you would be of far more use to me helping along the way. And then when the time comes, well, we can figure it out. Make no mistake, I'm not going to willingly allow you to, take it. But I will do everything I can to make sure that you were there and have the opportunity. Every bit the opportunity that I myself would have.
Okay.
In exchange, I am likely to do things that you are not going to appreciate or approve of. But I would ask that you keep in mind, should things go your way when the time comes, it will all be for naught, and the world can be exactly as you see fit.
I'm excited.
Giggity.
That being said, well, I'm just gonna go ahead and let you know. I'm gonna start a war soon.
Do I know about the village thing and him having to go do that war? I'm guessing.
You were there for part of the conversation, yeah.
Okay. When is that happening?
I don't know for sure yet, but hopefully within the week. Preferably a couple of days at most. But it might take longer depending on how things shape up here.
Okay. But after this event's here, we're going there.
Possibly even during. Again, depends on how things go here.
Okay.
To a certain extent, if I had my way, I would already be there. But I think there are a couple of, one or two things that are going to happen first. And in the spirit of full transparency, there is one other person that I intend to talk to that I'm quite certain already knows now what you know.
You talking about Saxon?
No, he already knows.
And Ambrosia's standing right there. So.
Yeah.
Who are you gonna go talk to?
I'll tell you after I do it.
You just said full transparency, though.
Yeah.
There is one other person that's also still searching for it as well, but you knew about that one already.
Maybe.
I did, or he did.
No, that's what she's saying it to him.
Who are you talking about?
Vol.
Really?
Yes.
I guess I'm not terribly surprised.
That has been
How'd
his
you
goal
know
since
that?
he confided in me. I asked him questions and he answered. Of course, he was drunk and also in a zone of truth, but he answered questions honestly.
He was drunk and in a zone of truth.
Never even occurred to me to ask him those questions.
Asked what he wanted to do with life. And he said he wants to, take care of life in his own way. Afterlife.
Well, okay then. So for what it's worth, it might be a round robin when we get there.
Okay, is this going to the Hunger Games around a giant Earth penis?
Around the MacGuffin?
No, inside the MacGuffin. It is on the top floor, inside the very tip of the MacGuffin. It's a nice white, shiny stone that's ready to burst forth. Erupt from the top of it.
I was going to say, the MacGuffin
my God.
is in the penis, not
It is.
the penis itself.
It is a tiny seed of white light.
All right, and being you called me out on it, Violet is the one that I'm going to go talk to.
The lady?
Yeah. When you say that, Ambrosia looks at you like, the fuck?
That that lady, the one Saxon hates or has problems with.
Sure.
Sure.
Well,
Got out of the way.
Effectively speaking, if everything goes according to plan, which I don't see why it wouldn't, her and her organization could be very, very useful to us.
That's good. In entering the Pernus?
Yeah.
Okay.
I could be wrong. I believe it is already their goal. I am
So-
going to offer my help.
And then backstab them.
No. Well, I guess it depends on your definition of backstab.
Are you going to tell them that you're also looking for it?
Well, that should be fairly obvious if I bring it up in the first place. But
Just you could
it
bring up
depends on whether or not they ask.
and say you could bring up the part where you know about it and offer to help them find it, but
Yeah, I don't have to willingly tell them, but it also makes it more fun.
can I roll insight?
Yeah.
On the him wanting to help me part. What's my insight? Five.
I don't know how detailed to make it. I'm not lying. So
I wouldn't know
there
that.
wouldn't be, well, basically from don't roll a 1, it's I'm not being deceitful. I don't know how much I should give him on a 5. I'm being very straightforward about the proposal itself and the fact that when the time comes, it's not going to be just handed to you, but you would have the opportunity to take it.
Yeah, that's what Yuri said.
Yeah,
So
but
you're
like,
basically telling the truth.
that is certainly, like, everything that he has said is true.
I mean, I rolled a 5.
As far as you can tell, everything is truthful.
Okay.
There's the answer.
Like I'm not even countering it with a deception roll because it's just truthful.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess technically the only other thing that I would add isn't even necessarily hidden in any way. I mean, yeah, I suppose not. I mean,
I just made.
yeah,
I just.
effectively speaking, like you get the feeling of two things. One, Gruck isn't lying, in anything that he has said, and two, Gruck has no interest in helping you.
Has
like-
no interest in helping me.
I mean, yeah, like he's
Because
not
I rolled a
doing
5. Yeah.
he's not doing this to help you. He's doing this to help him, and it's going to benefit you
In the long run.
in the long run, and then you will have the opportunity to achieve what you want, and he'll have the opportunity to achieve what he wants. He's not doing it for you.
Yes.
I don't know if that was too much for a 5.
No, you were pretty forthcoming with that, even in the other part.
Yeah.
You all but said it, so.
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions that you have?
Did we in character already talk about that corruption?
Yes. But just in passing with him.
Because I'd like to go take him out there and figure out what it is.
Okay. You guys
I
can
feel
do
like
that if you...
he'd have a better understanding of corruption.
You could ask him.
Should I...
Sorry.
How far is it in
I don't
relation
remember.
to whatever city?
I don't remember. Far.
About 6 hour walk.
It took me like a day to get there and back. No, because I went there, walked around some of the edge, and then came back.
So
if we cut straight across, then we could basically most of the day, depending on how long we're there, to get there and back.
Exactly.
Then theoretically, what time of day is it? We could potentially leave in the morning.
This is the morning. You guys are talking over breakfast, basically.
Okay.
Some we could leave right now, go check it out, come back. Because I'm guessing that fight's tomorrow.
Well, technically, that could be any afternoon because he left it wide open. So basically, any day as long as it's afternoon. And I would kind of like to do that first.
Okay, that's fine. It's just gonna be like, you want to do that first. We go to do it, and then the corruption spreads towards us. It's like, probably should have done the other one first.
I mean, that kind of would maybe end up sucking.
I mean, it's not gonna happen because I don't think it's that big of a world event type thing.
Were you able to find the source of the corruption?
No, I didn't walk through it. I wanted to see if it spread all the way around first.
If we wait till tomorrow and get back, will you be able to tell if it has indeed spread?
Why not just go out, see how far we could go out, camp the night? It's not like we actually have to be here.
He wants to fight first.
We'll fight to now. Fight now and then go out and camp.
Okay.
Well, he said the invitation was for the afternoon.
Yeah, but we go fight and then we camp overnight.
Oh, and then on the way out there? I mean, yeah, technically that works. I mean, well, in like theory, depending on how things go, yeah. I mean, yeah, we can do that. We can be on our way tonight.
Do you want to go get that fight through?
Yeah. Fucking juiced.
Yeah, you'll be able to go. He'll have a light snack basically before you guys do. You'll talk a little bit about some of your fighting styles. Have a glass of some type of liquor. I say some type of liquor because it looks like he's drinking wine, but he offers you whatever you'd like.
Water.
Very well.
I would also ask for water.
I would prefer to keep a clear head for what comes.
Okay. You were there for the entire thing for the for his brother, right?
Yeah.
Roll a perception check, please.
Let's go with the one that gave me an 8 last time.
During this fight, Matt.
Yeah.
I'd like to keep a close eye on Grug.
All right.
And kind of study him.
Okay.
Like his fighting style and his
22 perception.
His fighting style and stuff.
He has the same necklace on his brother did.
Oh yeah, the poison immunity necklace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's purely drinking it for the taste of it. It's not affecting him at all.
Which is totally fair.
So,
I mean, given the position and whatnot.
Yeah. You get the feeling from it that he's not trying to be like, ha 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 ha, I'm gonna get you drunk so I can win. It's just more of a courtesy thing. Like, it doesn't even dawn on him that that could be part of the issue.
Well, I would definitely be trying to say it in such a way too. Like, I'm not offended that he offered, and I don't wish to insult him by not accepting. It's simply I am looking forward to this, and you know, the wine would be for after.
So you probably actually would literally say that. Just be like, perhaps I will partake after our fight.
Yeah, that would probably be more appropriate.
And he will nod, understanding. And I have gotten a little bit too much into my pop collecting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love pops more than I should. Yeah. I'll show you one in a second. I have one that has Tom Holland and I can't remember, Micah something. The guy that voiced Miles Morales in the Spider-Verse movie. I got both their signature on Spider-Man up there, so I thought that was cool.
Did you meet Tom Holland, or did you just buy it like that?
I bought it like that. I have not met either one of them. So, all right. Now, what I actually stood up for was trying to find my dice, and then I forgot what I was doing.
For what it's worth, before this takes place, I would like to address Kuho and a request.
Okay.
Unless I am mistaken, your intention with this invitation was to offer me the opportunity of a sparring match with wooden weapons.
Yes.
I would like to make the request that we, as opposed to using training weapons, that we engage in combat as we would, and I would like to explain myself as to why. I have no intention or desire, to. I mean, harm is not the right way to say it, considering I'm asking for a fight. But basically, it's a misconception that I always had before I became a follower of Ares. And what I've learned since is to truly embrace the spirit of competition. And it's not just because I want to compete against you, but I also want to compete against myself. I see every opportunity to fight proper as an opportunity to prove something to myself. And obviously the choice is yours, because you have absolutely nothing to prove to me, at the very least. But in this situation, I have everything to prove to myself, and to a certain extent to you as well. And then of course, the demonstration to Ares. So off of that basis, I request that we simply have it out. A proper fight.
Very well.
Now, I can understand your obvious concern, and I would assume you have clerics on hand.
That's all I will call for.
I was going to say, if the need be, I could cast upon you myself something that would prevent even the accidental killing stroke.
That is actually what I was going to have two clerics come to do. In fact, it is common to have that cast when doing proper training in a royal court.
You're going to hear in your head, I can bring people back to life.
You're going to hear in your head, technically so can I. Just not right now.
Just not right now?
Yeah, I don't have the materials necessary.
See, I do. How did you talk back to me?
Oh, wait, yeah, that's right. You wouldn't have heard that because you wouldn't have the means to. Never mind.
I don't have an earring. I just can talk to you.
It didn't dawn on me that you don't have the earring, and then you said you talked to me, so I just went straight into it. But yeah, okay. Yeah, no response. I look at you and kind of nod. It didn't even occur to me for that second.
It didn't right away for me either. Then I thought about it, and I was like, wait, you can't do that.
All right. He will stand tall and...
Oh, I suppose I probably should have mentioned, too, that I showed up wearing my full armor.
He is not. He will remove his robe, lay it down on top of a table. He has a very monk-like robe, and he will pull one of them off so it hangs, and he will pull his sword out and hold it in his sheath. And so he has the sheath in one hand and the hand on the katana on the other. And he will take a pose.
Is there anything that you would like to do in preparation?
Outside of the two clerics coming and casting the death ward on both of you, no. He says, let us cross blades and see who stands the victor.
Oh, that doesn't sound nice.
I mean, it should be him. I'll be kind of disappointed in him if it's not, but that's not the point.
So,
I'm gonna get my ass kicked.
Is this
Actually,
the one that...
I feel like his hit points are too low. Hold on a second.
I didn't know for sure if this was gonna work. But now I gotta kind of go back and think about exactly what my game plan was.
Nope, that is fixed hit points. Okay, that is right. Okay.
Oh yeah, and we're level 9, so at least I do have that little bonus to help me out.
What's the
It's one of the reasons I wanted to take Ranger.
Is this the guy that has the that likes nature, or is that the lady?
No, this is the guy that's more based in nature. You can see that there's definitely, at least in the garden here, a very intertwining, almost a more harmonious living with nature rather than destroying nature. It's one and the same basically here.
After the fight, I'm gonna take a look around and
All right.
check.
We will go with a initiative roll.
For what it's worth, I also want to quick mention directly to Corin. Keep an eye out. Make sure that nobody tries to sneak in or like through doors or windows or something. And Saxon, I suppose technically would be here and is already aware of that. Just to be on the safe side.
So he's prepared. He just kind of lowers his head and goes, "Begin." He's looking at the ground, not even looking at you. Roll initiative.
I draw my weapon. Woohoo! Natural 20.
Oh, that's good. He had a natural 1.
Of all the times I could have had better initiative rolling a 5.
A 2 would have worked.
Well, that depends on his plus, technically, because it's just a -10.
One's a fail, isn't it?
Not
with that.
Depends on.
So.
Let's see. Do I want to take a round to do that? God, I suppose so. Oh, yeah. How far away are we? How far apart?
About 10 feet.
Okay. Well, no, we'll just go normal and we'll see what happens. Yeah, we'll go normal, see what happens. Okay, first, I'm gonna take a hand off of my my great axe and touch my chest with it, and as I do that, chant something, and then I'll disappear and reappear behind him.
All right.
And then I will just attack him with my axe.
And
Roll
my
it.
axe.
Oh, for what it's worth, too, I'm also going to mention, rather pointlessly probably, but as I attack him, it's going to be with a downward swing coming from over the shoulder.
Okay.
That was interesting, off the keyboard. But a 22 to hit.
He lifts his sword quickly in the air and steps slightly to the side, catching the handle of your axe, and it slides harmlessly to his side. And then he turns around and faces you, drawing his weapon, throwing the sheath to the side. Let us see what happens.
Okay, wait, did he just disarm me?
No, but he basically, as you were striking down, you hit his sword handle, which took it off to the side. Like, he parried you with his weapon.
Right. Gotcha.
As he throws it to the side, you see his muscles bulge for a half a second. He's going to take a swing at you with the sword for a 18. I'm assuming that misses.
Barely.
So you'll step to the side slightly, and his sword chinks right off your armor. You can see his eyebrow raise a little bit, almost a little surprised that your armor was able to deflect his sword. But as you're seeing his eyebrow do that, you realize that he's already spun around, and his foot is now in your face. As he connects very solidly with a 29 to hit. Which is a natural 20, by the way.
That sucks.
Yeah. Let me see what the damage is for that. Okay.
That's a lot of damage.
Not really.
It's gonna be. At least it should be.
It'll be 9 damage from that first initial hit as he does that. And then he goes to kick you again, but you're aware of what's going on, and so as you hit the face, you kind of hit his arm and push him away and step back, barely avoiding another kick.
Well.
And he's like crouched low, sword is held backwards behind him, and he's smiling, looking up at you.
I mean, for what it's worth, my jaw hurts, but I'm still gonna grin.
Teeth are just falling out.
Yeah, well, there's like a gap there, like
what's left of them at least.
Yeah, the jaw's like slightly off center now.
He's down. He does that like as he's doing that. He pulls the hand up like that, and you can see this like he almost like buzzes for a second in the air, like almost seems like he's twitching really hard, and so as he's doing that, you will be at disadvantage this round to hit him.
I think I know what he just did. Yeah. Can I make a check on that?
Yeah.
Wait, is he buzzing?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know because I don't technically have proficiency in Arcana.
Well, you can still make a knowledge check. An Arcana knowledge check.
Is the other guy buzzing or is Gruck?
No, the guy he's fighting, the prince. He almost seems like he's like, kind of like, I don't know if you can see my screen, how it's like twitchy.
Yeah.
Like that's what it looks like. He's just like, with a smile.
I thought Gruck was buzzing, and I'm like, I know what that is.
Nope. Whoa, you went really...
You're
gonna have to repeat that. I totally, like, with the storm going on outside.
14 arcane.
14 arcane, you're not sure. It does not seem to be an arcane thing. You're fairly certain of that.
Well, yeah, I don't see any reason not to.
Oh, and I apologize. 2 more damage. I forgot about something on there. So that will be another 2 damage. It doesn't calculate that in automatically.
Well, actually, no, because what does... What is that? Yeah, okay, so I was already thinking about doing that. I should have done that last round when I wanted to try it. I am going to now cast Magic Weapon.
All right.
And
isn't your axe already magical?
No.
This one is not. He is no longer using his Berserker's axe.
Oh. Thank goodness.
Dude, that thing was awesome.
I mean, it was, make no mistake. But now with the differences to Gruck that have happened since he started using it, he despises it. It's interesting, to say the least. I'm gonna cast it at the level 4 to give me the +2.
Okay.
And I don't think I can do anything as a bonus action then. Well, I mean, okay, technically I could do that, but what's the fucking point of that? I mean, well, no, I wouldn't be able to do that anyway because it wasn't a cantrip. So okay, yeah, that's it for me then. I will stand opposite him after casting the magical weapon, and I will begin to like spin it from shoulder to shoulder.
He takes a moment and actually kind of looks at you for a second, fully realizing what you've done with that, basically. And at that point, he will step forward and he will come around again with another strike. It's hard to tell if his sword is moving or if it's a foot coming at you. And 20, does that hit?
Oh, yeah.
For 13 damage. As he catches you actually with a foot in the back of the knee.
I will let out a yell as my stance buckles.
And, oh wow, a 30 hits, correct?
No.
Yeah, that's...
No, obviously not.
Oh, and I apologize, actually, that last damage, -3 from it. I was only I had the crit damage still. I rolled 2. Apologies. So take 3 away. I took away the harder.
I got 3 back. All right.
That second one, you see, like, he kicks you, and as he does, he brings the sword around behind like this and catches you just underneath the breastplate. The sword just slips in between very easily and seamlessly, and hits you for a total of 20 damage. And as he's doing that, he comes up with an attempt of an uppercut of a 22. Does that hit?
Oh, yeah.
That will hit for 11 damage. He rolled max on that almost. As he catches you with that, you're going backwards a little bit from that. He's midair, and then he pulls out and kicks you square in the chest for an additional 12, landing on the ground.
Fucking monks and their key points.
And he's not just a monk either. He is a monk samurai.
Well, if I'm gonna hit the motherfucker, it better happen now.
So, although to be fair, he has used half of his key points in this fight.
Well, so. I'm not gonna last long enough for the other half.
So it is your turn.
Man, I really don't. God, I know that's cheap as fuck too. I ain't doing that.
I don't know, dude. This guy's been pretty cheap on you. He hasn't been holding back.
That's not his way, though.
Oh, it's not. It's actually neither one of the brothers' way. Both of them have been taught to give it their all no matter what they do.
I was talking about Grog.
Oh. Oh, that might be true.
Oh, did I have that prepared? Nope, no I didn't. Or was that a 3? Nope, didn't have it. Okay. Um. Yeah, would that matter?
Yes.
God, I could technically try. I mean, yeah, that's a bit cheap too, but still, I don't know. I'm trying to figure something out. Well, we'll see how it goes. Okay. Yeah. So I'm just going to I'm just going to attack him again with my axe. Am I still disadvantaged?
No, you are not this turn. No.
Okay.
He's not wearing his magical thing that does that.
Okay, so then it's the great axe with a +2, and we'll see. I might have to use channel divinity. Oh no, I don't. Well, God, I don't know. Let's flex his AC. I mean, it's a natural 20, but technically that just gives me a 30.
Well, it's up to you.
So then it comes down to, no, you know what? I want to make damn sure that I hit him, so I'm going to add 10 anyway. So I'm going to use my channel divinity on a natural 20. Because I'm hoping to make sure I hit him.
Yeah, you hit him. So you come down. How are you swinging?
Let's see, because after he got done beating the piss out of me, then I went back to the swinging over shoulder to shoulder, and I would try to time it so that it was like I went after him as it was coming down. That way I could swing up into him, like going for the torso under the arm kind of thing.
He goes to block it, but he doesn't seem to be as used to an axe moving that way. And you just totally move quicker than he can with the block, and he can see it. You can see like a moment of in his face as you strike in, and your strike hits very, very true. And do not forget about your orcish ability here.
Yep, I'm definitely not going to. And let's see, so it's 12 for the axe, another 12 for that, and then nope, I did not bring one of them out. D8 for the Divine Strike. Nope, that's a 10. What the fuck I do with my 8? Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, and then just so I don't have to add it afterwards, the normal-ish damage is standard 4 with the attack, and then that's +2 for magical, so that's the 6 that I'm not rolling. Come on, dice. Well, that sucks. Ouch.
How about you do know you double your smite damage too, or your D8. All dice get doubled.
Include even the Divine Strike?
Yes. It happens even if a rogue is doing sneak attack with 20d6. Well, or however many they actually get.
It's not 20.
No, but you get what I mean.
Right,
it is
okay,
all
so
dice
then,
are multiplied.
Right,
or
so then
rolled
I'm gonna
twice.
Re-roll the D12 and the D8. Yeah, so it's 6 so far.
You're an orc.
Well, yeah, because I've already got 2 D12s, one for the weapon, one for the orcish savage attack, and then the D8 for Divine Strike. So I need another D12 because it's the...
Because you get crit. Yeah, you get the weapon, the crit, and the orcish thing on both those.
I can't remember. Are you orc or half orc?
He's half orc.
I thought savage attack only added 1, not 2. I didn't know if that one.
No, you automatically get 1 on a crit, and then it adds another 1.
Right. So it would be a total of 3 D12.
Right.
I've already rolled 2.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I got 2.
I'm just making sure that I'm making sure you're not cheaping yourself out.
Yeah, no, I got you, but I rolled a 4 and 2 1s. That's why the damage is only 6 with this dice. That's, disappointing, yes. Matter of fact, I'm going to swap them out just because. Doing a little better this time. Okay, that's a little bit. That's another 8.
So how much altogether?
14, and then the 6 from the standard, so 20 total.
20 total. You
Man,
catch
I really
it.
wish I had rolled minimum on, well, almost minimum.
He jumps back, very surprised. You can see the shock in his eye as he looks at it and sees the blood. He's just like, and he just gets this smile across his face. Are you doing anything else?
I still back as I bleed.
You're not going to use your other ability to do another attack?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I rolled so many dice, I kind of just forgot completely.
It's okay. I don't want you to be, cheaped out of that because that's pretty glorious.
I'm guessing it was important that he said it, but I'm gonna make sure I keep looking at all the windows and stuff and the doors to make sure no one's coming through.
Actually, yeah. So, War Priest charge, and I'll attack him again. And, let's see. This time, for what it's worth, because I hit him coming up, then I'm going to, this time I'm gonna do the same spinning as I was before, only this time, as it hits the apex of the swing, then I'm gonna spin so that I come at him from the side.
Okay. I can definitely see that you've been listening to a lot of Critical Role.
Oh my god!
I don't like the sound of that, or I do like the sound of that. I'm not sure which.
There's another 20.
Good. Bring it on.
Okay, now unfortunately limits things. Well, no, because I still get the extra D12 from Savage Attack, but the Divine Strike is now out. Because that's only once. Okay, that's not bad. Let's see. So you got 6, 12, 14, 25. Much better dice this time.
Yeah, I'd say that hurt him. All right, he will definitely be surprised by that second attack, especially. And with that, he will take a step back. By the way, you hit with the natural 20 of 30, the 30 AC.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't even think about throwing the extra one on there. Thank God it worked.
Yeah, just figured I'd let you know. It did hit. So he takes a deep breath. Make sure I'm good on this. All right. And you can see as he's taking that deep breath and focusing real quick before attacking you, you see one of his wounds start to slowly heal as he attacks at you again. 22 to or 23 to hit.
Oh yeah.
As he does that, he strikes out suddenly with his katana, catching you cleanly. Actually, this time, almost in the same spot as you got him with the thing, but a little higher because of your armor. He had to go a little higher, so he catches you basically in the armpit for 13 damage. And then as he does that, he follows that up with a knee to the chest. Like he has the blade going through and then knees you in the stomach chest area as well for 12 damage.
And which would proc first, the Death Ward or my racial?
Your racial.
Okay, then I'm at 1.
And you kind of, your eyes roll back and you snap forward and look at him, and as you do, you see a fist. And then Death Ward procs. But you come through from that one, you're on the floor, and he's offering a hand down to help you up.
I cough up some blood and then extend my hand to reach his.
Yeah, he definitely took a lick in there.
You got some good hits in.
You definitely got some good hits in.
I can't look at the life points, but it looked like he got some good hits in.
You took away almost half of his hit points in one round. So, that's not shabby by
So you get for
any
crit
means.
twice.
I mean, yeah, that's the power
Yeah.
of back-to-back crits. Make no
Oh my
mistake.
gosh, dude. That's why every single orc loves going 3 levels of champion fighter to get that 1920
yeah.
crit.
Yeah, I considered it heavily.
Oh man.
See, I want
For-
to multi-class, and I don't know what to multi-class into because I keep looking at stuff and I'm like, I want to go monk, but I can't do key points and the mystic abilities at the same turn.
Nope.
So it's like it's gonna slow me down more than help me. And I'm like rogue, but my character doesn't feel like a rogue.
No. You could go druid.
But I don't want to use spells. I want to be very non-spell based because mystic's like not really a spell based class.
That's
I
true.
want to make my character like not a spell based class.
Barbarian.
I was thinking about it, but I don't want unarmored because I have bad. I was looking at barbarian and my armor score would be like a 16.
Fair enough. All right. Well, yeah. So he helps you up and goes, "Would you like that hail now?"
I am going to get. I haven't. Okay, is he still bleeding from the side?
Actually, as he's helping you up, there is a cleric that is actively healing you and one that's actively healing him.
Okay, yeah, that was gonna be like the first thing. If I still saw him bleeding, that I was gonna heal him first. But apart from that, especially with the cleric hitting me with the heal at the time, then my ability to stand upright is going to come back, and then I'm gonna say gladly.
So you'll stand up and enjoy that. You guys will stay there for another hour or so, enjoying each other's company and, just generally having some chitty chattiness, learning a little bit more about each other. As the day progresses, though, and it is getting a little later, you do remember that you said to Corin that you guys would go out at least part of the way, camp, and then go the rest of the way the next day.
Yep.
The question is, do you want to drag Ambrosia along? She didn't seem eager to go or eager to stay. She was just kind of indifferent.
I mean, I really don't know what's out there. I'd rather not. We can keep in contact, and I think that would probably be best. But make sure you keep your eyes open in case we've already pissed people off and just don't know it yet.
Well, she'll be with Saxon, right?
Yeah.
At least in the same general vicinity.
Yeah.
All right, but keep your eye on Saxon.
No, I wouldn't say that. He ain't gonna do nothing. Well, not that I know of.
If you're like, all right, so you guys will go out, the two of you, and camp out. How are you gonna do watches, or are you just gonna wing it?
Just want to wing it?
I mean, I don't really know what's out here. We really should do watches.
I don't know. I feel like winging it. Alright, if you want to do watches, I'll do the first half. You can do the second half.
Okay.
Okay,
By
like,
definition, isn't that also going to put us like on the fringe of exhausted because we're not getting?
No,
proper-
each watch would be 6 hours.
So you get 6 hours.
You'd have to have 6 hours of sleep plus 2 hours.
Right. So then by default, it's going to take us 12 hours before we're actually on the go again.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah. And whoever takes watch first is going to be 6 hours, or whoever takes watch second is going to be 6 hours closer to needing to rest again later on. But
I don't get that specific.
Let's just wing it.
No.
Come on, what's the worst that can happen, eh?
It's
What's the
it's
worst
bad
that can
enough-
happen?
it's bad enough that it's just the two of us out here already.
I can just make us a building to sleep in.
Don't care. I don't know who's.
Okay.
I don't know this land that we're on. I don't know what kind of threats are here,
Okay.
and I don't know if we've already pissed people off being here. There are
Would-
too many unknowns to just wing it in the middle of the night, in the middle of nowhere, when we're completely and entirely exposed.
Nah.
Like
Okay.
you're not gonna talk me into it.
I feel like I almost was there. Like 5 more minutes, I would have got it.
No. If anything, it just would have meant we both stay up the entire night and get no sleep whatsoever.
I'm okay with that. Who needs exhaustion points, right?
Yeah, I love disadvantage on every roll. like it's awesome.
So you want to do the first one? I can do the first one, or I can do the second one. I don't care.
You can do the first watch. I'll do the second.
Okay. Sleep.
Yes, I sleep, fully armored with my weapon in my hand.
I'm asleep in the dude.
Did I get fully healed by the clerics, by the way?
Yes, absolutely.
Believe it.
All right. So the night goes completely uneventfully. There's a few little creatures that walk by, and not too much. You can give me a perception checks to see how much you see fully, but
I love perception checks. I will gladly. I got a 21.
Ouch. I got a not very good 11.
an 11. All right. So as the night goes on, for your watch, Grok, you are fairly positive that there is something that's out there watching you, some wild creature of some sort. You're never able to actually see it fully, but you can. It's more of like you can feel its presence. But it doesn't feel aggressive. I mean, you've been around the wild stuff enough. It doesn't feel aggressive by any means. Almost more curious. But you never do see it.
The next time I get sense, especially depending on if they're with it, then I'm going to just like randomly cast thaumaturgy to cause a tremor in the ground in that direction. Just because.
It's more of like a hunter's instinct that you're getting rather than actually hearing things. It's more like the I'm being watched feel. If that makes sense.
It does. I'm just gonna randomly throw one out there, 30 feet away from camp, just because.
Okay. That feeling will go away for a little while.
See if I can scare a rabbit or something.
Yeah, the feeling will go away for a little bit. Come back a little bit later.
Then I want to play with the spell.
It's a fun spell to play with. The next day, you guys will get up,
and that's something else that I picked up from a Critical Role because I overlooked that spell. I'm ashamed that I overlooked that spell.
It is such a
now
beautiful spell.
Yeah, it's on my list.
How many episodes are you in, by the way? Whoa, break up. Yeah, I think the storm's getting bad outside because I'm breaking up so bad I can barely hear you guys. Say something again.
It seems like it.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to call it here just due to the lag. I want to keep playing, but yeah, it's getting hard to play. So, does that work, guys? Did you hear me? Thumbs up if you heard me. Just stay frozen.
Well, I mean, he was talking about thunderstorm. It looks like it's still trying to catch up every now and again.
Yeah, that's what I was
now
saying.
I've got thumbs up.
It's yeah, it's. I was gonna say thumbs up. I think we're going to call it here because it's becoming unplayable. The storm's getting really bad outside.
Right.
So, all right, we'll talk to you guys later. I want to keep playing, but like I said, it's just unplayable at the moment. See you next week then.
Yeah.
Are we gonna follow up on this next week?
Yes, we are going to continue with this before we do anything else.
Okay, I was gonna say because Saxon will be back too, and it'd be.
Yep. No, he's just going to be SOL sitting back at home, jerking off or whatever while you guys do this, which is pretty much what he does anyway. So, all right, I'll talk to y'all later.
See ya.
Yep, have a good one, guys.